our tale of the tape is brought to you by Bose. The significant weight advantage for Romanov. He does have a slight reach advantage as well, and a 1-inch height advantage. Moldavsky, the younger fighter, 33, to Romanov's 34 years of age. Moldavsky in the red gloves, Romanov in the blue gloves. Randy, you said more often than not you were the Moldavsky in this fight, the lighter of the two heavyweights. How would you approach a behemoth like Romanov?
I would try and close the distance, get him to the fence, pummel with him, trap him there, lay on him, make him carry you as much as you can, and take some gas out of him. And then in that second and that third round, you can start to use that footwork and that athleticism to pick him apart and let your hands go. He's too fresh now in this first round. You don't want to stand in front of a guy that big and that strong.
Either that or you just pitch a fastball over the top like Couture did against Sylvia and take him clean off his feet. That's the easiest way to put a big guy on the canvas.
Yeah.
Romanov the southpaw, Moldavsky the orthodox stance. Still tapping gloves here even after the first round begins. More than 35 seconds in now. The 1-2 by Romanov in response to a 1-2 from Moldavsky.
Yeah, there's a battle for the lead hand at the moment. You can see the person that wins the outside battle is going to have the advantage of the jab because they can come over that lead shoulder. Now, of course, MMA is slightly different. There are other things to consider. But both of these guys trying to get the boxing advantage, and Romanov clearly trying to punch himself into a clinch and show that size and weight advantage to Valentin Moldavsky.
Romanov's got Moldavsky nearly a drop, and then a second effort.
Yes!
Big body block by King Kong.
I love it. Heavyweight suplexes. What is that? Belly to belly? Randy, what would you call that?
That's a belly to belly. Yeah.
I love it.
Step around body lock.
Takes a lot of effort.
It's almost like he bounced him off the mat and then threw him.
Takes a real commitment at this weight class as well to commit to a throw like that.
This is a miserable place for Moldavsky to be underneath a giant guy like this.
Underneath King Kong, as he's known. Maybe he'll scale the Willis Tower if he wins this fight.
He's looking to get a tight grip around the head and arm here. But I think he's going to try and isolate this head and arm. You can see him working on it. I think he's going to try and get an arm triangle. Oh, in fact, he's going for an Americana.
He's got 11 submissions to his credit. Moldavsky's a very skilled combative sports athlete, a world champion in combat sambo in 2018. He also won the Europeans that same year.
The brute strength of Romanov moving Moldavsky with his back on the mat via underhooks.
Yeah, but now this is a terrible spot. Look at the weight that he's carrying. That was a good effort to build up, but you can't do that many times in this heavyweight division. There's some blood on the back of Moldavsky. I wonder if that's from Romanov's face in some way.
Romanov doing a good job of staying behind Moldavsky, not letting Moldavsky swim over and get chest to chest. Gonna pick him up and try and put him down again. Nice effort here by Romanov.
Nice.
Hits Moldavsky back to the mat.
Remember, Romanov had to cut weight to get into the heavyweight division. He had to cut to get under 265, weighing in at 264.4. Moldavsky faces him.
Yeah, does a good job turning back to face Romanov, but he really needs to get some separation. He's trying to dig another underhook in
Double
here.
underhooks now by Moldavsky. Moldavsky started Greco-Roman wrestling at 11 years old in Russia. Russia's one of the top countries in Greco-Roman wrestling at Olympic caliber wrestling.
Dan, looking at Moldavsky's back, I wonder if that's a scratch from the takedown that we saw.
I think you're correct. It looks like a big scratch across his shoulder blade. Look at that.
Romanov ducks underneath the fist, and then he
left hand. That one hurt. That one hurt Romanov. Oh, Romanov back in it. Oh, you want to slug? Let's slug.
Look at this.
Moldavsky saw an opening, and now Romanov trying to quiet things down. A knee to push Moldavsky right back to the cage to control him.
Just for a moment, it looked like Romanov was showing a little vulnerability, and you saw Moldavsky put his foot on the gas and go charging forward, and Romanov just stood his ground and started throwing back. The benefits of being the bigger guy in the cage.
Final minute of the first round, and it's been an exciting one.
Oh, cup check, and that was a big one.
Caught him in the midsection. You could tell right away they exchanged knee to the midsection, but Moldavsky's caught Romanov in a really tough spot.
That was a solid shot.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
I know.
Oh man, he's in a lot of pain. My goodness, that was a full knee to the groin.
Crowd reacting as they see the replay.
Stay right there for me.
That was a rough one.
How are we doing? Okay. Doc! Doctor!
They're calling for a doctor now.
Doc! Doctor! He asked me to call you. You know, you worry about a ruptured testicle or whatever. Sharp pain?
And I can straighten my leg right now.
So just walk right over there for me, and I'll come with you in a minute. Just chill right here.
Let's bring in Big John McCarthy as Alexandr Romanov is tended to on the mat of the smart cage right now. Big John, what's your assessment of this situation right now? How would you be handling this as a referee?
Well, right now you're kind of stuck in the position of you had a foul. There was a knee to the groin. That's illegal. The fighter is the one that's in control of the time here. Now you can bring in the ringside physician, but there's really nothing that they're going to be able to do for the fighter. This is something that he's going to have to work his way through and get himself either back in the fight, or he's going to say that he cannot continue on in the fight. And being that it is the first round right at the end, this is probably going to end up being a no contest. If it ends up in that fashion, I don't think they're going to disqualify Moldavsky off of that one.
Thank you, Big John. Appreciate that. This
Accidental
fight hanging in the balance right now.
3 minutes and see what's going to happen.
Romanov will get 5 minutes to recover, a full 5 minutes he can take, and then he's going to have to make a decision. Hopefully things settle down. May have gotten pinched. It's hard to say. Generally with the cup, it protects you pretty well, but in that circumstance, it's hard to say.
Well, you mentioned that 5 minutes, Randy, and already 2.5 minutes gone on that countdown.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, he's not really moving. I heard him say to the doctor that he can't straighten his leg without it causing him tremendous pain. I mean, he's a tough individual. It's not like he's not going to stand his ground and fight if he's got the ability to do it.
And he was winning the fight.
Yeah, this is it. He looks really uncomfortable here. I mean, you know, best case scenario for him, he gets his 5 minutes to rest, and then we start again, and, you know, we're almost into the second round.
Give me an update on the injury time.
Worst case scenario, it's going to be a no contest, but then we have to consider tournament implications, and does he move forward by default? This is a question for the team.
Yeah,
we have about a minute
absolutely.
and 35 seconds to make a decision.
Under 2 minutes for Romanov to make a decision here. You mentioned that we're almost done with the first round, 34 seconds left. Maybe you could get through that short amount of time and have a little more rest in the corner before the second round.
We're going to try and...
You want to wait a minute or do you want to call it?
Listen, you want me to call this fight?
And what is happening? I lose?
I'm not going to tell you that. I can't tell you that, but listen to me. Listen to me. Listen, we need to call the fight. If he's injured this bad, I need to call the fight. Docs, can you give me that nod? Fight's over. Fight's over. I will now tell you.
Let's go to Big John one more time. Now that we've heard that the fight has been called, we could hear the decision-making process as it went on through that 5-minute time window. Big John, just a disappointing outcome, but you ultimately have to keep in mind the health of the fighter first.
Yeah, absolutely. You're taking a look at, you know, Romanov has been in the fight game for a long time. He is a tough individual. And Randy is right. Many times the cup is going to absorb a lot of that, and the fighter's going to be able to go on. But every now and then, you know, things are put in a position where they're hurt to the point they cannot continue on. Obviously, that's what he told the doctors, that he could not get himself back. And so they called the fight on him. Now the question for Blake Grice, the referee, is Is he going to disqualify Moldavsky for the blow? Because did he intentionally throw the knee? Yes. But did he intentionally foul? I don't believe so. So if he goes to a no contest, then it's going to be a question on who's going to move on in the tournament to face Popov.
Man, he's in some considerable pain. Here we're gonna see the knee again. So Romanov throws a knee to the thigh. Moldavsky returns and he's throwing a knee across to the opposite leg. He's going like inside thigh. I can see exactly what he was trying to do, look, knee across, but he just unfortunately caught the groin, and these are big, powerful individuals. Now, what we've got to consider is, of course, this is the heavyweight tournament. One of these guys is going to need to progress. My understanding is that this will become a no contest on their record, but the judges will be asked to score the first round for the sake of progression. Now, for my money, Romanov was winning this round up until that last 30 seconds where the injury happened. It'll be interesting to see what the judges decide, but that seems to be the case for me right now, and I think the disappointment that we're seeing from Moldavsky is evidence of that.
Very evident. He was even at one point offering to help carry Romanov off.
Yeah, he's struggling to straighten his legs. That really shows you how much pain he's in his abdomen, in his midsection. One thing I will say is we might need Randy Couture in there with this stretcher to give him a hand carrying this big boy
guy,
out.
for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Blake Grice calls a halt to this fight due to accidental foul at 4 minutes, 26 seconds into the first round. The judges have selected Alexandr Romanov to advance to the finals of the 2025 PFL World Tournament.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now to the PFL MMA YouTube channel.